Steven here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to carve a little fire pit, and this should be a pretty cool home decor piece you can put around, or maybe on a table or up on a fireplace mantle. A while back I made a carving video on how to make Christmas lantern ornaments, and I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to go check that out. You know, for those lanterns, I use this little T-lamp, this battery-powered T-lamp. And so I got to thinking, you know, what other kind of project could I use this little lamp in? And that's when the fire pit idea came to mind. It's a cool little lamp, as you can see. I mean, it also flickers, so it looks a little bit like a real flame. So you could, if you wanted to, I suppose, use for this design, you could use a real T-lamp, candle if you choose. These battery-powered lamps, though, are pretty cool. They come usually in this white color. You might be able to order them in different colors, but what I did is I just took some of my orange acrylic paint and I painted it orange just to kind of go with the with the fire pit theme. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to carve this little fire pit, and how to transform wood into what looks like, rustic brick or rustic stone. I'll also be sharing a little bit about how I painted it and finished it. So join with me and let's get started. Okay guys, I'm starting out with a block of basswood. This is approximately 4 inches by 4 inch block, and it's about 1 3/4 of an inch deep, or from top to bottom. The grain orientation is also from top to bottom, and you can see me here drawing a circle because I'm getting ready to take this over to my bandsaw and cut it out. Now before I take this to the bandsaw, I'm going to go ahead and use my 2 7/8 inch Forstner bit to go ahead and drill out a little bit of a recess in the block. And anytime you're drilling something with a Forstner bit and the piece is this small, I highly recommend you using some kind of clamp to hold it and control it, just for safety. Okay, now that I have that recess, I'm coming back with a 1 1/2 inch Forstner bit, and I'm drilling down. This is going to be where my little LED T-lamp light is going to sit. Okay, and here you can just see me use my bandsaw to go ahead and cut the corners off of the block. And I have my large blade on here. Would have worked better if I'd had a smaller blade, but nevertheless it worked fine. Okay, here you're just going to see me going around the circumference of the fire pit with my roughing knife and just trying to clean it up a little bit, get rid of some of those saw marks as much as I can. Doing this will sort of help make the layout for the bricks and the carving of the bricks a little bit easier. Okay, here you can see me laying the brick out for the little fire pit, and took my time here, and I just tried to get the bricks laid out as evenly as I could. I think I ended up with about 12 bricks going all the way around, and then like three layers of bricks from top to bottom. Not terribly different than the fire pit in my backyard. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, because once you start carving the brick, the brick's going to look a little bit imperfect anyway, so I wouldn't worry about getting everything perfect here. Okay, before I do any carving, I'm going to go ahead and hone all of the tools that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the flex cut roughing knife, the flex cut detail knife, and the flex cut V tool. And for this next part, I want to especially make sure my V tool is extra sharp. Okay, what I'm going to start out with, for me, it was actually easier just to start out with the V tool. And I'm just going to go around and trace all of these pencil marks that I made and try to create some grooves for separation of the bricks. And I'm going to go through in one pass, and I'm going to come back and probably do a little bit deeper pass, because what you want to happen is you want these grooves between the bricks to be fairly deep, so you can create a little bit more shadow when you come back and paint this. And you'll probably see me I'll keep adjusting this throughout the carving. As I carve the brick, I'll actually come back and also try to deepen the grooves with my knife. Now, you could also do this part with strictly with a knife if you don't want to use the V tool. I just found it a little bit easier to get that V cut or that groove started using my V tool. Okay, in these next few scenes, I'm going to show you me going back over the fire pit and just going ahead and working on each brick. Now, I'm not going to go brick by brick, because I just want to kind of give you and show you the concept of what I'm doing here. If I went to show you every brick, this would be a very long video. But essentially what you're seeing me doing is I'm getting rid of all those 90-degree corners, all those 90-degree edges, and I'm going to go in there and try to get rid of any leftover saw marks that might still be hanging around, and also try to just create some facets on each brick, because when I get done with this, the bricks are going to almost look like rocks or stones. And when I come back to dry brush this with some white paint over the gray, it's going to highlight those facets that you're cutting on the rock or on the brick, and make it look more like a stone or a rock. So this will take probably the most time, just going around and working each one of these bricks and trying to transform it and make it look more like a stone. And then what you'll do is you might have to come back in with your V-tool or your knife and deepen those V-cuts between the brick, because again, in the end, when you paint this, you want to have some deep grooves there to create some shadows. Okay, now you're going to see me just going around and cleaning up these V-cuts between all the bricks. Now, if you have something like maybe a denture brush, this will work good to kind of get out the fuzzies. But I found these little diamond files that I got from Harbor Freight work pretty well to clean up all the little fuzzies and some of the cuts, you know, between the bricks. So that worked pretty well. But you could also just use whatever kind of brush that you have on hand to get this cleaned up and get it ready for painting. Okay, here's the final fire pit. You can see I cut a few little grooves on that recessed part, and I did go back and drill the hole down just a little bit deeper for the T-lamp. Okay, to finish the fire pit, I used a few different acrylic paints that you can see right here. And I want to say a big shout out to Doug Linker. I went back and watched a couple of his videos where he carved and painted his fairy slash gnome doors. And I basically followed the same process for painting the fire pit as he used in that video. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check that out. But first what I did is I used some watered down black acrylic paint, and I went over all the V-cuts and all the grooves between the bricks to create the shadows. For the brick itself, I used two different shades of gray. I used a regular gray color and a light gray color. I diluted those in a little bit of water and then, you know, went over each brick and blended those colors together. And then after that dried, I basically took, you know, acrylic white and had my brush in that, and then, you know, just dry brushed over the top, and that of course you know, highlights the facets, you know, that I carved into the wood. So that was a nice effect. And inside here, of course, I painted that black with a little bit of dab of gray to kind of look like, you know, campfire ash. And then the lamp itself, I used basic orange acrylic, you know, to kind of match a campfire color. And then after everything dried, I went over the whole carving with this clear ultra matte finish. And I really like this. It doesn't leave a real glossy look on the carving, but I do think it makes the colors stand out a little bit better, and it gives the carving just a little bit of extra protection. Well, I hope you enjoy the video and you'll give this project a try. It was a lot of fun. Please take a minute, like the video, and please subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get notified, you know, when new videos are coming out. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care.